In this video, I'm going to show the meshing of the pieces that were at the bottom and maybe a few different reorganization of the text. But I'm going to start right here. Yeah, okay. I'm leaving some of the editing in, but I'm going to go over it because I don't know. I can't remember if I added a few more or not. These are recognized as being done last time, but like some of this in John, I think I went and did a little bit here, like this one here, because when I read it over, I needed to add some words. So little things like that that are being there, and it's here straightening out the words. The evil ones, the word evil or evil ones is used as those who do not um, are against our Creator. And you can see I started combining the numbers here together. Now this, I'm moving Elizabeth up here, so I don't need this here text here. But example like this here might be changed to where Zacharias is or was our high priest from the sons from Aaron. This verse might get changed again, and that's going to be needed in the next one because I'm going to clean all these up. It's just that I know that when I was reading it, I thought, gee, that's being kind of said not smoothly when you're reading it to understand it, or at least for me. I think I added these words here. He was just startled. This text didn't need to be here this time. Okay, now here's the change I said that was going to happen in the last one, in the last video. So yes, I'm going to move it to 4 months here. And I think that's more safe as a truthfulness of that, of being fourth or fifth. It would be fourth. This is being said in the verses below. So this was a change from 6 to 5 here. Didn't need this word here. And I'm saying it was Joseph to name him because the father at that time was to name the child or sons. And I'm not sure if they were the ones that named the daughters. But that means this here needed to be changed. Instead of using the word relative, I used the word aunt, because that would be what she would be considered as an aunt, not really a relative. Well, I think I put that word in and then I took it back out now. So that's going to, one of them that I'm pretty sure that went one way or the other. Here I'm saying it's promised words, not holy words, because these were promises. So promised words. Changing the word holy to chosen one. And this is referring from the text in the Hebrew more than it is the Holy One, even though both of these kind of titles. But it's more or less that our Creator chose him. So it's not that he was a holy one, but he was more chosen. So the word holy is not being used correct here. This verse is being dropped down to here. Then I needed to add this text here. I've added the word junior, Zacharias Jr. And then made sure that her name was there. Again, promised words. And I'm getting rid of the word Caesar because at the time it was known as a king's. Those are just extra words that I needed to correct because they would be that they're writing to their people or writing their recordings, so they would use the word king. They wouldn't use all these fancy words. Here, this text is just being moved up to here, and then that needed to be corrected. Instead of frightened, startled. Geez, I think I might have spelled that wrong up above. I think that's more right. Let me pull up the other text. I'll wait later. Let's see, where was I? Startled. Weightness. Moving the word they to them over here. Again, them to over here. Any Romans and Jews that were in Jerusalem would have been upset, so there wasn't just Romans. He would have summoned a governor who has the command to be able to summon somebody, not that he just sent for him, but he's wanting him there. So the word summon is more true or a better defined word to what is happening. Incense and spices. It's pretty easy. Again, promises here. Our Lord's Holy One. Now here I should change it to chosen one again. So let me see something here. And then this needs to be changed down here. Let me grab this. And I got to do those edits before I open up the next page or during the next PDF because I'm going to clean a lot of these up, and I've most likely already done that. So this was just helping to straighten out the text. That it was just a reminder, or what I believe is the time that he would have given up, 2 months, or maybe I could change this to 5 weeks. Change that as well. This is moved from the extras. Okay, so I added it here, and I'm not going to pull them up because what I've done is already moved them up, and I'm marking them all by using this tag here. So if you want to see them, just popping them up. So when you have like, I'm going to try to keep the order of the PDFs the same. So this one would be like number 9 in this group to combine them. So the thing here is I think you'll have to have 8 open, and you'll see that, and then it'll be, this is where you'll get them. So you can check to see if I moved all the correct ones or not. John wore instead of a garment. So that was just, I believe that was a new edit. Realized or revealed. Compassion and truth are revealed through Jesus. Now, compassions and truths, this might be promises later. I'm just mentioning that that might be changed. Yeah, and you're starting to see more influencing of my words put on the text. So his righteous words here. Don't need the word floor. This was a double of what was being said, so I took it out. I don't know where it's at, but I just know that I haven't noted that it was a double. And you can see I'm starting to put in some titles of paragraphs or what's coming up. I didn't want to put caravan, but group. So I guess I should, that would be debated again later. So let me mark it as to check it, as that's what I want. Okay, add the word commands. It just read better that way. A withered hand to a crippled hand. I think that's better described. And I'm going to remove these text here, these little arrows. I can finally get rid of them. I got rid of the word 38 just to say it's 8 years of sickness. Here I have it bedding. Sometimes it might be stretcher, and I don't know if I'm going to do that as well. But here, laying on a bedding. Yeah, when I'm reading this just needed to be added where it says no male to help men. Well, the only thing is that he would have gave up from the beginning. So I'm just thinking that he's too slow to get up, that's why he's laying on a bedding. He was just a very sick person. Not that he couldn't call somebody over to help him, because if he did, they would jump in. So the object would have been that he wouldn't have been there at all if he needed assistance like this. Just trying to make it reasonably and logically truthful there. So, yeah, see, stretcher, I changed it to bed, got rid of this stretcher here, bedding. So, and then you can see this text here, and I marked them with yellow as well. If there's extra verses, they'll be all yellow text or yellow highlighted. So that text went there. This needed cleaning up by getting rid of that, and then these words all fell together pretty good. I don't see that there's needing much. Okay, now this is one of those that I removed from this area, and then I put it under J10, 34 and 36. There's going to be 2 verses, but this text is going to be moving down. And then you can see I've also added these 2 verses here. It was just a place I needed to stick them, so I'm hoping that'll read better or read right when you're reading it, because it's such odd words here. 12 divisions for daylight. I'm still having a hard time with 12 divisions. So that just is a really shortness of, they could have had 10. Because how do you keep track of how the divisions in the sky? Would everybody do have this piece of paper or template that they could go out and hold up to the horizon and look at the sun and say, oh, it's right here, and that's this, and then you had all these 12 marks? It doesn't seem to me to be the truth. Yet I know there is a proverb that Jesus teaches about the different hours of the day, and that might all get changed. But this one has been tricky, and it's been on my mind probably since I first started editing all the text. Here's another group that I've moved to here, just this one verse. I changed the word blasphemy here to your boasting, because it's not really blasphemy that he's doing here. I mean, they're thinking that he is acting for our Creator, but the problem is the writer wouldn't be thinking as that person, that they were trying to get him on something. So the word blasphemy has to come out in your boasting, for your boasting. So because otherwise Jesus would have went through and because he's boasting, he's from YV, okay? Not like YV, but from YV. He's telling them, I am the one that was chosen. So it hasn't, the writer just wouldn't put down that he's like YV. He understands it. So that's the correction being done here. Okay, here's the group that I moved down to here. And these are the verses here that I moved them under. It just reads better here. And then you can see this here now is where it's going to be. This group here, these two verses here, came here. And then I'm just switching around the order, moving priest to here just to understand the order of who's more powerful. Now this one here is going to be moved here. So if you copy these words here in the file finder or the finder window, it'll take you to this place where I moved these words up. It's just that those were not reading correct, but when I put these texts together, then they needed moving up here. So there was a lot done when I put these here. And then I thought, okay, this pretty much is talking about the judges up here, I believe. They were, okay, well, these were unbelievers. Okay, then our judges heard the unbelievers. Okay, this is what I did to tie these together. From this group to this group, needed that unbelievers here. It's kind of reading that, kind of like, how did I get that word there? So, okay, I had to add the word sockets because he had no eyes when I'm explaining this text, and it was when Jesus made the mud, it is to make the eyes. So this is why he's saying later in the story that this has never been done before. But it goes with what Jesus says, what he's seen his Father do, or our Creator do, he can also do, or do and ask to have it done. So this was a real good way of because if you know Genesis, from the clay of the earth, he made man. So I had to add the word synagogues here. So I added priest here. So I'm using the word priest from here down here instead of scribes. And then scribes to attendants. Again, because it's up above and the word attendance is still here, so it had to match what's up above. Your judge and gatekeeper, yes, I needed to add that because he's judging as they come through the gate or before why they can get to the gate, so he has to be a judge as well. Here it's not Jacob's well, it'd been known as Israel's well. Everybody knew that at that time they stopped calling him Jacob, so why would they refer back to him as Jacob? Because he didn't dig the well until after he had come back with his wives, 2 wives and 12 sons. So he was known as Israel. Didn't need this part of the story because that's already been said. Okay, I just moved these 2 verses up. Okay. So I didn't leave them here to move them up. Yeah, I must have had placed this one below something here and then removed it. So, and the word wasn't deaf. If you can't speak in here, we call that stupid today. Dumb, maybe it's dumb. Okay, I'm going to have to, now that I'm thinking, I might have done that wrong here, so let me put it over there and look at it again. But I'll mention what I do with it in the next video. Here's more text from the bottom, and I had to add these words to connect them. Here's more text that I use from the bottom, but then it's out because it's already been said. This is just cleaning up so they read smoother. At this time, they're followers, not disciples. And a dead boy instead of a male. That's not needed. And do not mourn for him. Okay. I took this out because the word kill, it doesn't make sense here. So this is going to be moved to the very end because it reads out of place. I need to, I think, make that note. I need it later. But here I brought up these verses, and this is a great big long group that I brought up. It was finally I found a place to put the story. I couldn't figure out where I was to put it, so it helps when rereading. This verse right here was brought up to here. Here's more text that was brought up, and then I got rid of this. I didn't need these words here at this time because Jesus is already talking, so I just continued it by combining the stories as one teaching. I think that's easy to know. I've talked about the tribes being tribes land and not just another place. So move to here. So again, there's going to be text where it was moved from. And then I put in the extra words here from the extras at the bottom. They didn't fit. Extras from the bottom, they did not fit. Those words aren't needed. Again, the disciples needed to change to be followers. I'm just moving son of David around. I added text to where I'm definitely saying I added this. So that will always remain. Okay, here's that W word that I was telling you about that I moved way above. Now this text moved here in this video, and where I had moved it from, I've already erased it. So when you're seeing about where it was from, you'll need the past PDF to look at it, and then cleaned up the work here, or just making it better by removing all those words. Yeah, they're just not needed. It's kind of like a doubling of the text. Is pretty much what I was just adding John's name, our people. Not stumble, but fall away from him. I don't like the word stumble because that's not as good as, if to be understand truthfully, you could use it as a metaphor and try to teach it as a metaphor, but Jesus isn't trying to teach a real metaphor here. He's telling them what's going to happen. So to fall away from me would be to start denying Jesus. And this text that wasn't needed. And I didn't need the word ram anymore, so I thought Savior, because that's the way they understood him at this time. Had to add the text to just put the text together, so I added this time. Didn't need these words because they're pretty much up here. Okay, I moved this text, and I don't see another note that I've didn't get rid of it, and I don't have the little letters or whatever just to be able to say where I got it from. So this is just going to have to be checked where I moved it from, because I don't need these words when this text is here now. It just doesn't read right. Okay. Move under here. Hold under from, okay, it's going to be from under 14. So it's just down here. I moved it down in this group here, and then I'm moving it just as I moved above 17. So 14 is up here. That's Mark 14. I'm looking for Luke 15. Well, I don't want to spend too much on time, but I've got all these notes in here for you to be able to do this, going back and forth. And it wasn't with power, it was with YHVH'S authority. So at this time, remember, he has been baptized, and which really translates into a prophecy from our Creator, or a promise that he was going to anoint him. And the anointment is that he is now a priest, because the priest needed to be anointed to be able to be a priest, to be able to forgive sin. So this is Jesus being anointed by our Creator, because nobody else had the authority to do that. So, okay, this is where this was at, 14, so I moved it upwards. Here I'm moving this text from extras, and you can see I needed this text up here. Now here, I added the two names from here to come up into here that Matthew, Levi, and Alpheus, and something like that. Anyways, it would have been, these guys would have been all taxmen now that we have this knowledge here, where because they were sitting in a tax booth as well. So that's why that text went there. But I needed to add their names. And then, because I'm wondering why I have this. It's like a new meshing. Maybe I forgot to take those meshing words out. All right, and left all this editing here. Yeah, because this is 8 points. So this is the text that I guess if I go here and just put some letters like that, it'll be easier to find. Mesh group below. So this, when I done the editing, I needed to redo this. So yes, this is being meshed down below in here, or below, or wait, above. I meshed it above. That's where I got all these here, because I meshed them. Those colors went upwards, so that was to aid that this group needed to be meshed above. I guess I missed that editing. Same thing with these. And now we've got text like this. And I guess I can keep going here, because it's getting close to the 40-minute mark. Didn't need these names here. A lonely place I changed to the lake shore because they were near there. So that's why I added the word lake shore there. This here is another group that I moved. That's already there. I didn't move it from the text, but I did have to move that text around. And again, I didn't make any notes where I moved it from. So you have to search this. Maybe I'll run into the green down here below. Yep, right there. So it's not too far away from it. You'll be able to find that. Okay, that's just saying that I moved it under green. No, it's not that. This is well 13. So Matthew 32, this group was moved. Move group under verse. So this group was moved above, because this is a different, this is an 8-point text. Anything that's 8-point text is what I moved. Didn't need this one. Again, didn't need this. Those parables were just there, and I says, well, he might have said them once before, but I put them again that he would have said it again. Here's text being moved around, back and forth. I think it was just out of order the way it was written. So I was ordering them. Here I'm using text from this verse here to come up into here. And again, these words come from the one that I took out. They put here. I didn't need to put the word forgiven. This is pretty much what I'm explaining is out. So this isn't the way he would say it at this time. So to be forgiven, that would be more truthful in a different place. So But I do have pretty much everything but this here in this text anyway. But it's being taken out. And to add the word words to here. And it's talking about a return not coming. So here I move this text. This is 8 point. Yep. So again, here's another group that I'm moving that, again, I'm moving that up next to this verse. This is 8 point. I need to check that right now. I do. Okay, this is one group that I'm starting to mesh here. This is the other group, so that's why I've got this listed here under 35. Why am I moving it under 35? Okay, that might be an error on my part, is that maybe there was text here before in the last video that I moved out when I was cleaning it and then moving it around. But yeah, that's, because this is L9 or 8-9. This is 8-9 and it's 8 point. Okay, I see 10 is here. 12, okay, 13. I meshed a lot in here. Well, when I seen I meshed it here with the wrong number, but all this, I want to make sure these, okay, they're all colored green. So yes, that went above. And this one went with that last group as well. And I had to add these words about darnel. This is a form of weed that grows with the wheat. I switched the words around here, which would be like this here going over here. So now I needed the city and not this area, because I believe it's more of a city than they're walking through the vacant land. Okay, so, or along the road, not vacant land, but along the road, or a small village. I wanted a large city that all this text was mentioning this area, so that's also here that's added. Maybe I should have added it up here and then move that, but you'll be able to follow that group by using those. And then I can see I'm meshing this below. So when I started moving stories that I had doubles of, I started putting them. That's kind of what's going on here with all this text being moved from there to here and there and up and back and forth. So it's kind of like like I said, in here I'm trying to organize more like stories together than having them being repeated at some point, but meshing these all together now. And then I'm not seeing anything that if I have to go over something like the word Israel, I guess you should know the difference by now. Using the word everyone from there to there. And then all this is going to get meshed. Yeah, I had to add these words here just for it to read correctly. And I'm going to leave off right here and pick up with, what is that, part B, 11b. So